Hi, thanks for watching Food with Len. Today we're making spaghetti and meatball muffins. This is what we ended up with in the end, so I'll show you how we get there. I'm just going to get my spaghetti to boil, and I'm going to boil it a little past al dente, not too far, kind of al dente, because we're going to put these muffins in the oven for a while. So I'll get my spaghetti boiled, drained, and then we'll move on to the next part here shortly. Okay, my spaghetti is where I want it to be, so just going to turn it off and drain it. I've drained my spaghetti, and now I'm just going to move it over to a bowl. I've cooked the spaghetti just a little short of where I would normally cook it, because it's going to cook a little bit in the muffin pans as well. To this I'm going to add some olive oil, probably about a tablespoon or so. Just want to get it lubed up a little bit. And I'm going to toss that, and I'm going to let it cool, and then into that I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese. And then once it's cooled, we're going to go ahead and get that in our muffin tin. We want to get our oven to 375 Fahrenheit, which for you Celsius guys I think is 180. So I'm going to let this cool for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to add the Parmesan cheese. Alright, I'm back, and it's been well over half an hour. I was going to grate my own Parmesan cheese, but I decided I'm just going to go with the stuff in the green thing here. I'm sure it would be better if you used your own Parmesan cheese, but just don't feel like a mess tonight. So anyway, I'm going to take this muffin tin. I got a 6 muffin tin, and I'm going to generously grease the tins so that my spaghetti doesn't stick. And now from here, I'm just going to go ahead and add spaghetti to each one of these tins. Well, as it turns out, I do have an abundance of spaghetti there. So I'll just be eating this leftovers some other way. I only have 6 meatballs, or else I could just use that spaghetti with more meatballs. So these are the meatballs that I made myself in a previous video. I'll link to that below in case you're interested. Alright, so first what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of sauce in each one. At this point I'm just going to add my meatballs. Let's see, I'll just set that there so you can see what's going on. And these meatballs are rather big. If you're going to make meatballs specifically for this, you might want to make them a little bit smaller, but these will do. They'll work just fine. So, we put all my 6 meatballs in, and then we're going to pour the rest of the sauce, or more of the sauce, over top of the meatballs. You don't want to make this a drowning in sauce concoction here, but you do want enough sauce to make it kind of like a little mini meal. This is going to be a mini spaghetti and meatball thing. Now this would be a good place to go ahead and grate up my Parmesan cheese, but since I'm already on a roll with this, I'm just going to keep using this, just so as the video doesn't get overly long from me breaking out all the equipment to grate up my Parmesan. Alright, I got my cheese just like how I like it, and I'm going to put this in the oven, and I'm going to look at it in a little bit, and we're going to I'll tell you as soon as I pull them out how long I left them in. Preheated to 375, and that's 180 for you Celsius. Alright, I've given my spaghetti and meatball muffins about 25 minutes in the oven, and I'm going to let them sit and completely cool before I attempt to take them out. They're supposed to set up once you let them cool for a while. So I'm going to let that happen, and I'll get back with you shortly. I've let my spaghetti and meatball muffins cool for, I want to say it's been a good solid half an hour. Now, I know I shouldn't be using a real fork to do this, but this is my Dollar Tree $1 muffin tin. So if I scratch it up, I've already gotten like 10 uses or so out of it. Anyway, there you go. How cute is that? That's kind of cool. So I am going to go ahead and put my, I'm going to grate some fresh cheese over that, because I didn't like the way the powdered stuff just kind of turned brown and more or less disappeared. So let me go ahead and dress that up a little bit and take my end shot, and then I'll give it a taste. Alright, I've grated all of my Parmesan on there that I'm going to grate. And I put a little parsley on there as well. And I'm just going to, for the first bite, I'm just going to go ahead and cut in so you can get a kind of a cross view what that looks like. Yep, spaghetti and meatball. My meatballs are rather large, so you could go with smaller meatballs. Let me get a smaller amount of a bite here. Just a little bit of meatball on there. And let me get a bite here. Mmm, yummy. Well, I hope I've inspired you to make your own of these, and if you do, just let me know how it turned out in the comments down below. Also, I'm going to include a recipe for my meatballs. I've already made that video, so I'm just going to link to that down below. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you in another video.